The National Assembly has denied that Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula referred to members of the EFF as animals. The Red Berets insist that insults were spewed directly after she ruled they should be removed from the State of the Nation address after attempting to storm the stage to disrupt President Cyril Ramaphosa's speech. The claim is baseless and misleading, Parliament said. However, EFF leader Julius Malema raised the matter in Cape Town City Hall during Tuesday's SONA debate, saying Mapisa-Nqakula's misconduct disqualified her from being a legitimate Speaker of Parliament. The Speaker referred to members of this House as animals and violated the Constitution and the rules of the National Assembly when she allowed armed police to invade Parliament, he said. On Tuesday, Chair of the National Council of Provinces, or NCOP, Amos Masondo, appealed to members to refrain from repeating the unsubstantiated allegations as he set the record straight. The unrevised Hansard, a record of proceedings of the House, confirms that Speaker remarks as Pumani man, which translates to get out, man. Malema said the Red Berets have submitted a motion of no confidence against Mapisa-Nqakula. They say we also have officially withdrew the respect we previously showed her. We apologize for having showed her respect when evidently she does not respect Parliament. It's been reported that yesterday morning, a baby aged 1 year and 9 months died after showing symptoms of diarrhea, vomiting, and abdominal pains in Jeppes Reef on Saturday. A family of 5 members was admitted at Shongwe Hospital after they all showed the same symptoms. According to information, they had a meal and suddenly fell sick. The infant and his 3 siblings, a 4-year-old girl and 2 boys aged 6 and 7, were staying with their 23-year-old aunt at the time of the incident. The aunt has since been discharged, but the 3 children remain in hospital, said Mushala. The 2 boys are responding positively and their condition is satisfactory. The girl had complications and was transferred to Rob Ferreira Hospital in Nelspruit in Bombela last night. Pressed on whether the cause may have been food the 5 ingested, Nobela said they did not want to preempt the results. Pending the testing, those results will be publicized. Back in 1993, Conservative Prime Minister John Major conjured an image of England as the past was characterized as old maids bicycling to Holy Communion through the morning mist, quoting George Orwell. In that vision, the Church of England, or CFE, to which the maids were cycling, is the interest in the primary and elderly as the unwed, traveled and lonely road half hidden from the view. For an increasing majority of the population, it is the view of the Church of England that may seem to match the reality. The average age of worshippers has topped the 51 for the first time, while less than 15% of the population identifies with the Church of England. Given these statistics, some might have been left wondering about the amount of press coverage the recent meetings of General Synod of the Church of England, the church's governing body that filled all the major newspapers in the UK this past week. But sex sells, and the Church of England has been embroiled in a very public and sometimes rather nasty debate about sex. Who can have it and with whom? In the Church of England, it is established, meaning that it's recognized by the law, then it's official in church. It has 26 bishops sitting in the upper house of parliament, conducts over 40,000 weddings a year, and runs a quarter of all the primary schools and over 200 secondary schools attended by 1 million children. What it says about sex and relationships is important and impacts many lives. Inevitably, the sort of sex and relationships being discussed are those of gay and lesbian relationships. This while, of course, also permitting its clergy to remarry divorced straight people in the church, although it wasn't as obvious as a step might have assumed either. In updates, the family of slain entertainment entrepreneur and chef Tibelo Tibbs Mutswane on Tuesday confirmed that his memorial will take place this Thursday. Tibbs was shot and killed alongside his longtime friend and business partner Keenan Forbes, or AKA, in Durban this past weekend. The two were shot just moments before AKA was to perform at the nightclub in the city as part of his birthday celebration tour. Close friends, Mandla Isaacs, close friends, family, and selected media will gather for the special tribute, which will be live streamed. His funeral will take place at a private ceremony over the weekend. The Motswane family are deeply moved by the national outpouring and love of support for their beloved son. Meanwhile, AKA's family also announced a multi-award-winning hip-hop artist will be laid to rest in the provincial funeral on Saturday, which will be private as the family has requested. During his State of the Nation address last week, President Cyril Ramaphosa declared a national state of disaster to respond to the electricity crisis with immediate effect. He said the state of disaster would enable government to provide practical measures it needs to take the support of businesses in the food production, storage, and retail supply chain, including the rollout of generators, solar panels, and uninterrupted power supply. The move has been gazetted by Cooperative Governance, or COGTA, and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. DA leader John Steenhuisen said the party was heading to court to challenge the declaration of an electricity state of disaster. He said the DA did not want a formal national state of disaster like the one declared, but ring-fenced state of disaster around Eskom. The DA wrote that the judge president of the Supreme Court of Appeal for an urgent court date to hear the existing challenges and constitutionality of Section 27 of the Disaster Management Act. As Oscar Pistorius's parole eligibility date draws near, the Steenkamp family's lawyers said that their position was simply that the law must take its course. February 14 marks 10 years since Pistorius shot and killed his model girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, in his Pretoria home. The Paralympian was ultimately convicted of her murder and sentenced to 13 years and 5 months behind bars. He became eligible for parole next month after serving half of that. Eligibility for parole is governed by the Correctional Services Act, which provides for an offender to be considered for placement on parole after serving half of his or her sentence. That brings us to the end of our moments in current affairs. For now, we'll get back to it with some more. Soon as we get back, we'll give you more of the information.
We are extraterrestrial. We are KNR.